Give me water, bring it up from the ground, cool, clean water. There's enough to go around. Bee Cave Drill.
Hi, I'm Jim Blair, president of Bee Cave Drilling. I'm here today to talk to you about mud control. My customers are routinely surprised by the mess we make when we're drilling a well. See all this drilling mud, the cuttings, the water, and a little bit of foam blowing out here on top of the ground? Yeah, we can sure make a mess. Maybe your site's like this one, where out in the country, or you've got a big place you scraped off, you can blow the drilling cuttings. That's great if you've got that. But if you don't, you need to be prepared. So in this video, we're going to talk to you about a couple of options that you can use to control this mud, clean it up, haul it off, so that we're not destroying your property. If your site looks like this, you're going to have to do some mud containment. One of the options we have for you is a mud bag. You see this big hose coming from the well that we're drilling? All the cuttings are being blown into that bag. It's a fabric bag that will catch the cuttings and let out the water and the foam and the small cuttings that are in the water. The big cuttings are going to stay in it. Now, if we're going to start making a lot of water, we got to start cutting some vent holes in it so we don't burst the bag. And you can see that we've done that here. Another thing that we use sometimes is a silt fence. Now, we have to use a really good silt fence, and it has to be put in right to contain the volume of water that we're going to have. But that's really good for holding that cuttings in place and the water in place to let it soak into the ground. We don't want to let it run down and get into the street, on your neighbor's property, or maybe into a nearby creek. So when you got to clean this up, the most important thing you got to have is patience. You got to let that mud dry up. If you try to move it when it's wet, you're going to get frustrated and wish you hadn't started that project. But once it's dry, take your pocket knife, cut the bag, bring a bobcat in, and scrape it all up, haul it all away. But if your site looks like this, you certainly don't want to blow that mud out here on the ground. So we have a container that we can blow the mud into. We call it no spill drill. We got our diverter set, we got it hooked up to our diverter hose, we got it blowing over here to our no spill drill dumpster. Let's go take a look at it. So we're blowing our mud over here into our 30-yard liquid tight no spill drill dumpster. We're going to back a vac truck up in here, suck all the liquids out, haul this dumpster out of here. Well, the guys have done it. They got the well drilled, they got the rig out of here, got the casing set in the hole, cemented in place. We got everything done. But what's different about this site is we don't have any mud. The site is clean. The grass is still here. We don't have to re-sod after we tear out all your grass to get all the drilling mud up. Yeah, we got a little bit of drilling cuttings here and there, little bits that the landscaper can clean up. We've got a little dusting here on the plants that can just be washed off with a water hose or a rain. But the site is clean, just like it was when we got here. So think about your site. Do you live out in the country where blowing the mud on top of the ground is no big deal and you just scrape it up with a tractor later on? Or maybe you live in town where you've got place to put the mud on top of the ground, but you need to contain it so it doesn't get onto your neighbor's property or maybe into a nearby creek. Or maybe you live on a beautiful lot where putting the mud on the ground is actually going to do a lot of damage, cost you a lot of money, and maybe you're going to spend a lot of time and effort to re-sod and regrow that grass. Well, you need to think about that when you go to choose who drills your well and how they contain the mud. You see our three options that we offer, but we can pretty much customize anything that you want. Give us a call today. We'd love to come out and show you what we can do on your site.
Give me water, bring it up from the ground, cool, clean water. There's enough to go around. Bee Cave Drilling. Give me water. Bee Cave Drilling. Give me water.
Call Bee Cave Drilling now for a free estimate.
Give me water.